In this video, we will learn to convert between fraction, percent, and decimal. First, how do we convert a fraction to a percent? We simply divide the numerator by the denominator to get a decimal. Once we have a decimal, we multiply that by 100. And then we have to add the percent symbol. Let's consider some examples. Let's say we are given 1/2 and we have to convert that into a percent. So first we divide the numerator by the denominator. So we have 1 divided by 2 and from that we get 0.5. Next we have to multiply that decimal by 100. Of course, multiplying a decimal by 100 is the same as moving the decimal point 2 places to the right. So 1, 2, therefore we get 50, and we have to add the percent symbol, so 50%. Next, how do we convert 3/8 into a percent? First, we divide the numerator by the denominator, so we have 3 divided by 8. From this, we get 0.375. Next, we have to multiply this decimal by 100, or we have to move the decimal point 2 places to the right, so we get 37.5%. This time, how do we convert percent to fraction? Now take note that this case is the opposite of the first case. So remember, in the first case, to convert fraction to percent, we have to multiply the decimal by 100. Therefore, in this case, we simply divide the percent by 100. And we have to simplify the resulting fraction. Let's consider some examples. Let's say we have to convert 45% into fraction. So we divide the percent, that is 45, by 100, and we have to simplify this resulting fraction. What is the common factor of 45 and 100? Of course, that is 5. So 45 divided by 5 is 9, and 100 divided by 5 is 20. Therefore, 45% is equal to 9 over 20. Next, how about 60%? So let's divide 60 by 100. Okay, so another way to remember this, of course, is to consider rather that percent is per 100. So we have here 60 per 100 or percent. Okay, so what is the common factor of 60 and 100? Of course, that is 20. 60 divided by 20 is 3, and 100 divided by 20 is 5. Now, how do we convert decimal to percent? We have to multiply the decimal by 100 or simply move the decimal point 2 places to the right. And then we have to add the percent symbol because we have to convert the decimal into a percent. Let's consider some examples. Let's say we are given the decimal 0.072. To convert this into a percent, we have to move the decimal point 2 places to 1, 2 to the right, so that we get 7.2, and then we add the percent symbol. So we have 7.2%. Next, how about 0.538? If we move the decimal point 2 places to the right, we get 53.8%. Next, how about 0.00993? Moving the decimal point 1, 2 places to the right gives us 0.93%. This time, how do we convert percent to decimal? Of course, this case is the opposite of the preceding case. So if in the preceding case, we move the decimal point 2 places to the right, this time we have to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. For example, we are given 9.4% and we have to convert that into a decimal. So we simply move this decimal point 1, 2, 2 places, sorry, 2 places to the left. So we get 0. Somewhere here we have 0. Then we have here the decimal point, and we have to write here another 0. So that is 0.094. Next, how about 15.92%? Okay, to convert this into a decimal, the number should get smaller. So we have to move this decimal point 1, 2, 2 places to the left. So we have here 0, and then we have the decimal point and 1592. Therefore, we have 0.1592. Lastly, we have 0.165%. To convert this percent into a decimal, we have to move this decimal point 2 places to the left. Okay, so if we do that, we will have 0. Then we have here the decimal point. We have to write another 0, and then we have this 0.165. Therefore, in decimal, 0.165% is 0.00165. Next, how do we convert fraction to decimal? We simply divide the numerator by the denominator. For example, we have the fraction 1/3. How do we make it a decimal? We simply divide 1 by 3. So 1 divided by 3, that is 0.333. Next, how about the fraction 2/5? So we divide 2 by the denominator 5. Okay, that gives us 0.40. Next, how about 1/8? Okay, so we have to divide the numerator 1 by the denominator 8. So 1 divided by 8, that is 0.125. Lastly, how do we convert decimal to fraction? To convert a decimal to fraction, of course, a decimal can have only a 0 before the decimal point, or a non-zero whole number before the decimal point. Therefore, first, we have to separate the non-zero whole numbers from the decimal digits. And then, we have to divide the decimal digits by the last decimal place. So, take note, we have to divide only the decimal digits by what? By the last decimal place. And we have to simplify the resulting fraction rather. Okay, first, let's say we have to convert 0.25 into a fraction. So, well, in this case, we don't have a non-zero whole number before the decimal point. So we have to worry only about the decimal digits 25. So 25. Okay, the next question is, what is the last decimal place? Okay, so let's recall, this is the 10th place. This is the 100th place. Therefore, we have to divide 25 by 100. Okay, so how do we simplify this fraction? We know that there are 4 25s in 100. So 0.25 is equal to the fraction 1/4. Next, we have 0.225. Okay, again in this case, we don't have a non-zero whole number before the decimal point, so we have to worry only about the decimal digits 225. Okay, this time, what is the last decimal place? Let's see. This is the 10th. Okay, this is the 100th, and the last digit is the 1000th decimal place. Therefore, we have to divide 225 by 1000. Okay, so what is the common factor of the two numbers? Perhaps 25. Okay, so we know that in 100 we have 4 25s. So in 200 we have 8 plus another 25. Therefore, we have 9 25s in 225. Next, how many 25s do we have in 1000? We can think of 1000 as 100 times 10, right? Okay, and we know that in 100 we have 4 25s. Okay, so 4 from 100. But there is another 10, so we have to multiply 4 by 10. We get 40. Therefore, 0.225 is the fraction 9 over 40. Lastly, how do we convert 3.125 into a fraction? Okay, first, since we have here a non-zero whole number before the decimal point, we have to separate 3 from sorry, from 0.125. So we get 3 plus 0.125. Okay, next. Okay, we leave the whole number as is. Okay, and we have to consider the decimal digits 1 to 5. We have to divide that by the last decimal place, which of course is this is thousandth place, right? Because this is tenth, this is hundredth, and this is the thousandth decimal place. So we have 125 divided by 1000. Notice that now we have a mixed number. So we have a whole number and a fraction. Okay, so we have to simplify only the fraction. Let's copy 3. Okay, how do we simplify 125 over 1000? Perhaps the common factor is 25. Again, in 100, we have 4 25s. But we have another 25, therefore we have 5 5s. We have 5 25s in 125. Okay, and again from the previous example, how many 25s do we have in 1000? There we have 40. Okay, so the fraction becomes 5 over 40. If we simplify this further, okay, so the common factor of course is 5. Okay, so 5 becomes 1. Let's divide 40 by 5, that is 8. So 3.125 is equal to the mixed number 3 and 1/8. If you have any question, please leave a comment.